Welcome to another edition of Web Chat with the Warden. I'm here with Warden David Mayberry. We're talking about tomorrow's council meeting. So actually I believe we're going to be talking about a feasibility study for electric vehicles. So can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, the electric vehicle charging station program that the provincial government has released a couple of years ago, and the county was involved in the first study and the first installation in Ingersoll and Woodstock. At that time, we indicated that we had a number of other places that we thought would be a good idea. The province has now released the second rendition, and the county was successful in getting some more money. As we were doing that, we realized that we probably should have. We had done kind of our own little unprofessional sort of study of where do we think the most appropriate places for these charging stations would be. And in working with CUTRIC, the Canadian Urban Transit, whatever the rest of the name is, that group had offered to do a study to look at where are the most appropriate places and what are the different factors that you should consider. So they have done a study for us, and it's coming to County Council for Council's information, but also it will influence where we put charging stations in the near future.
Well, speaking of vehicles, I hear we're also going to be talking automated vehicles as well. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Sure. The provincial government has given permission, created legislation so that you could do a autonomous vehicle, so a driverless vehicle test in Ontario. And it's one of these things where the ministry has said that they basically can use any road they want. But the Good Roads Association in Ontario has sort of been proactive and is out looking for municipalities who are willing to be participants. And what they want to do is create a road or a route from Ottawa to Windsor through all sorts of conditions. And so Oxford County has offered to be part of that. We see it as part of the connectivity. The autonomous vehicles are here. They're soon going to be in people's driveways. So we want to make sure that the testing is as rigorous as possible. And so what we've done is created a number of routes that we think will provide the kind of the normal challenges and maybe some of the extraordinary challenges that you want an autonomous vehicle to be able to master. So like a number of municipalities in the province, we stepped forward and said we'd be glad to be part of it. And so hopefully this summer or fall we'll see some autonomous vehicles. I should caution people, they will not be driverless. There will be a driver in the seat, but the vehicle will be driving on its own, and the driver is just there in case something goes wrong, and also to make notes on what does go wrong. So we're looking forward to that research. As people like me get older, we're actually quite looking forward to having somebody else drive for us. And if somebody happens to be the car driving itself, I'm good with that too.
The future certainly is bright in Oxford County, I guess you could say that. And tomorrow, I guess Council is also going to discuss the audited financial statements. What's going on there?
Well, every year, of course, the county has to have their financial statements audited by an outside firm, and it kind of brings to fore, where were we over budget, where were we under budget. Collectively across all departments, we're about $2.5 million under budget. So that money will go into reserves. Some of it will automatically go into reserves to be used this year for projects we didn't get completed, but some of it is, employees that weren't there for the whole year, or people that leave partway and you'd budgeted for a whole year. Sometimes things come in under budget, and then we have a few cases where we're over budget. But overall, I think on a $220 million budget, we're out by 1.2% or something like that, to the good this time. So that's good news. I'm sure County Council will be happy that we're to the good and not to the negative.
Well, I'm certainly glad to hear that. Well, that's all the time we actually have for today. Thank you so much for coming in today, Warden, and make sure you stay tuned for another edition of Web Chat.